What is a writer and a reader to do on a weekend where she has literally no responsibilities whatsoever? Well, good morning. I've been very exhausted this morning, like I'm not gonna lie to you. So if I look like I am, I am. I could not get out of bed. I was so tired. I haven't had coffee yet because it has to do with our plans for the day. Let me turn this fan off. It is Friday and yeah, we're gonna spend the weekend together. My husband is currently in Vegas. He's doing some work for his music business this weekend. So I have the apartment to myself. I have everything but time on my hands because, as I mentioned in a previous video, I'm unemployed as well. So what is a writer and a reader to do on a weekend where she has literally no responsibilities whatsoever? Well, I'm gonna show you what she's gonna do this weekend. Starting with, I'm actually running behind, but you know, I let myself sleep in. I had the whole bed to myself. Like, we were cozy, okay? I was watching this video by Carrie Reeds where she goes through the book Metal Slinger. First of all, this video is 3 hours long. I fell asleep watching it last night, and that's probably why I'm really tired. That video is hilarious. I knew nothing about this book until I watched this video. But hi, hello, yes. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing today is I'm gonna go work on a book in a cafe. I'm gonna go write. I'm gonna go read. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I also have a million errands that I have to run today. I want to get some stuff to make myself a good dinner tonight. I want to get a library book and a book that is not available on my digital library. I have to clean up my apartment as well because I have actually my sister-in-law and her boyfriend are coming to stay with me. But they're not going to be here until much later in the evening. So I have this entire day to myself. And so I'm just going on a solo reader-writer date and I'm very excited about it. And as I get ready, I'm gonna just give you guys probably a bit of an update on what I'm working on right now, what my life looks like right now, because I feel like I have not talked to this camera in so long. And truthfully, I haven't. Like I've kind of fallen off my momentum a little bit with filming and editing and posting. So let's just have a chat about that. I'm switching up the angle a bit so you guys don't just get bored. Oh, this is the wrong item. It has been a long time since I have spoken to the camera and we're gonna talk about it. So I had filmed a whole vlog and that was supposed to go up yesterday and I never got around to finishing filming it. I never got around to finishing editing it and I kind of put it on pause because I was humming and hawing if I even wanted to post it because it was kind of like the one where I start editing draft 5 of my YA portal fantasy novel, The Winds of Destiny. I've talked about that book a few times on here, but for those of you who are new here, this is a first installment in a YA fantasy trilogy about a young girl who discovers a magical world through a well in her small town. She gets to that world and she discovers that she is somehow connected to the events of what is happening there and discovers that her arrival has awoken an ancient darkness, one that she might be destined to destroy. If you want more details about it, please, I have a whole playlist. I have a lot of videos where I just go into more depth about what this book is about. I'm currently preparing to query this novel. It is taking much longer than I thought. Like, I feel like this phase of the query process is weird, where it's like you're trying to get everything together to send it out. I just think that there's like a bit of a mental battle there for me personally. Like, I think I'm a little bit scared still to submit it. I've gotten some help when it comes to my query letter, and I've been kind of chucking away at it and kind of writing it here and there to kind of fix it up some more. Basically, I knew I wanted another round of edits for the book before it goes to agents, and it's not heavy editing at all. It's line level, so it is still kind of like I need to focus, but it's more just little things that need to be adjusted and changed. And was filming a vlog and just started feeling like really tired of talking about this book and really tired about just constantly being in a state of revising something. I think this really comes down to just the nature of having a YouTube channel and feeling like you kind of need to be showing new things all the time. And I started this channel when I was like in the middle of rewriting that book, because I had initially written this book years ago, self-published it years ago, and then went back and rewrote it. I just feel like I just was starting to get really tired of showing you guys the same thing and talking about the same book all the time. And honestly, I'm feeling a bit fatigued with the book still, even now. And that's something that I have to fight through, because if you want to publish a novel, you have to get used to reading your work a trillion times and living in that work for a very long period of time. Like, for real. And for me, I've been with this book for years of time. And so, I don't know, I kind of started feeling down, a little bit depressy, if one would say. Just kind of, I think because I wasn't actually writing. I was revising a book. I wasn't making huge revisions to it. And so I started to just feel really like about the content I was making, about the book, and just like and the vlogs I was producing, because it was all based on what I was working on at that time. And yeah, so I just have kind of been in this weird rut. And it's like not anything terrible. Like, I know once I find the motivation again to sit down and edit this book, it's going to be fine. And I know that my goal is still to at least try to query this book to agents and see what happens and see where it lands, and just, just throw it out there. All this to say, I needed a break. Also, I've kind of been back and forth trying to figure out what project I'm going to work on next. I was working on another big fantasy project that I've had in the works since like 2017. This is like the book of my dreams, the book of my heart, the books I love to read. It's very me, and it's very much a amalgamation of the books that I personally love and like the stories that have like made me want to be a writer. But it is a big project, and intentionally so. Like, one day my hope is to write a huge epic fantasy series. That project is that. And it's a lot of work. Again, I started kind of putting things together for it in 2017. I have like half a draft kind of just sitting on my desktop, but once you take a huge break from something, you go back, you see all the pieces that were wrong and all the things that you could change and things like that. And it just felt very much like I was kind of in that revision phase again. And also, it's such a big project, and I honestly am very intimidated by it, because it's pushing my skill set as a writer that I feel like I still don't have a full grasp on yet. For the past like week and a half, I would say, I came back to a project that I had written back in November for NaNoWriMo, or for National Novel Writing Month, for those of you who don't know what that stands for. This is what I'm going to be working on this weekend, actually. And it's something I've been working on for the past few weeks, as I've kind of let myself just give some space to the winds of destiny. I'm going to try to find a way to balance these two at some point. I promise. I can't let this go, but I just need something new. I need something to write, because again, it has been forever since I have written a first draft, and I've been stuck in this revision headspace for far too long, and I feel like I am losing my ability to write first drafts, and it's terrifying.
Did you guys hear that? I'm scared.
But yeah, so back in November, I wrote a book called Project Casino. That's the working title, but that's the nickname title. It's not even a working title. This is just what I'm calling it. And in November, I had written a zero draft. It's like about I think between 15 to 20,000 words. The zero draft is really just a brain dump. It's really just like a container for all my ideas. It's horrible. My bestie, Maddie, she asked to read it, and I sent it to her. And then I reread the manuscript myself recently, and I was like, please don't open it. Please don't read it, because it's so horrible. Like, it is a mess. And it was allowed to be so, because I was just pushing out what I thought the book was going to be like in a month while I was working a full-time job. I was very proud of myself for finishing that zero draft though, and for kind of pushing past a lot of my personal perfectionism and stuff. But yes, so Project Casino, I'm not going to share too much about the premise on here because I saw a video recently about a girl who shared a personal story between her and her husband that she wanted to write, and some man took the story, threw it into ChatGPT, and has written like multiple books about it, and that scared me, horrified me actually. And I have shared the premise for Project Casino before, but I'm really trying to keep my cards closer to my chest. Pun intended, pun intended. But I mean, essentially it's a competition book, takes place on a cruise ship, but it's a portal fantasy. It's very different from any book I thought I would ever write. I decided to go back to this book for a few reasons. One of them being that it is a standalone. I have no intention of this being a series. I really want this to be its own self-contained story, whereas like all the other book ideas I have are potential for series. So I was like, you know what? This will be really refreshing for me. This will feel really good to just have a project that can be done faster and kind of give me the satisfaction of just being able to finish writing a first draft and give me the confidence that I need to write my other books that I have on the table. I currently have been rereading the Zero Draft again, as I said, and just tweaking my outline and working on character stuff. I've come to learn that I don't need to know everything about a book before I go into writing it. I'm comfortable with kind of a base outline going into it where I just know where the story ends, I know where the middle is, and I know where the beginning is. And as I do that, of course, I start getting ideas for other stuff. So I'll like write it out into an outline. But I really feel like my main thing going into a story is I need to know who my characters are in order to actually even be excited about the story. So that's what I've been working on a lot like this week and the last couple weeks too, which is part of the reason why I haven't really been active on social media, because this has kind of taken over my life, but also my life got really busy. As I said, I'm unemployed. I'm applying to different jobs right now, and that took a lot out of me because I had to create my portfolio, I had to update my resume, and just there's a lot of work that goes into that. So I was working really hard on just like that kind of stuff, and it took a lot of creative energy out of me. And you know what, as for short form content, I could care less at this present moment. I'm really trying to preserve my well for short form content for when I have to actually promote a book and not be too concerned about it now. As I'm kind of just working on writing a story, I'd rather put more of my energy into YouTube because I love YouTube and I love vlogs and like long form content. I just feel like for me personally, this is what I love to make and this is what I love to watch. So we're prioritizing this. But yeah, I know this has been a bit of a rambly update. I feel like it's just because there's so much I need to update you guys on that I'm a bit all over the place. But all you need to know right now is I'm back with another vlog. We're gonna spend the weekend together, and the project I'm gonna be working on this weekend is Project Casino. Very exciting, very exciting, very exciting. So that was actually a really good writing session. I feel like I was at this cafe for like 2 hours. I'm not currently at like a phase where I'm fully drafting the book. I'm still doing a little bit more of like preliminary research because there is a huge learning curve in some of the like there's research I have to do and things I have to know in order to write this book, and so I had to do a little bit of that. But I did also kind of work on an outline. I'm trying to stick with the save the cat method because I really want to master that before I open myself up to other ones. So like the one in particular I'm thinking of is the anatomy of story. I just don't think I'm ready for that yet. I really want to grasp the way that Save the Cat structures the story, and I feel like this is a really good opportunity for me to do that. So I'm focusing on that, but I'm also trying out different formats, like trying out writing out a plot grid instead of it just being this whole long document, which I think will help me visually just see the story from a bird's eye view. I actually ended up drafting a little bit when I was sitting there. I wrote the prologue, which I've written before, and it's one of those things where like I wrote it to kind of just get myself into the story, kind of knowing that the prologue is probably going to have to change at some point because I think it just gives a little bit too much away. But for the sake of it being a first draft, I'm trying to just write it out that way, and then I can go back after and see if it still works or not. Right now I'm kind of on the fence about if it's working or not, so I'm not being quick to just completely cut it. But yeah, I think I wrote like 500 words of that prologue. It's a flash forward to a moment that comes later in the book, and it's just a quick way to set the tone for the story and add some like layer of mystery, I feel like. But we'll see if it ends up staying. Again, this is a first draft, so I feel like a lot might not end up staying, but I'm trying really hard to balance drafting with outlining. I don't want to get stuck in the outlining phase and be so overwhelmed that I can't actually write the story. That's something I noticed happening with the other big project that I mentioned that I initially wanted to work on. That's something I saw happening. So with this one, I'm trying to do both kind of at the same time. So I've written out for the outline just kind of everything that I think I can right now, everything that I know. I feel like Act 3 is still a bit of a question mark. Like, I know certain things that need to happen, but I feel like this is when I can allow myself to be a discovery writer. Like, I genuinely feel like I'm in that in between. I think I need some kind of direction and plan when it comes to writing a book, but I still think I enjoy discovering things as I go. And I feel like I get better ideas when I do that sometimes. So I'm letting myself be both. We're not categorizing ourselves here, okay? Yeah, I'm about to head to the library, and then I just have to pick up a book. It's Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, because I'm back in my Shadowhunters era for some reason. My plan is to run to the grocery store, but my husband sent me an emergency text message saying that he needs me to do something for him on his work computer. So I'm gonna go to the library, and then I'm gonna check in with him. Anyways, let's go to the library. Book has been acquired. She is thick, but she is not as thick as the last one in the series. So that's gonna be fun when I have to read a like 1,200 page book after this one. But I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's good. Really wish they had it as like an ebook at this library, but no, they don't. But I will be coming back to this library because it's kind of small and the trees here are really gorgeous, and there's a trail, there's a park. Like, it just seems like a cute area to like walk around. So I definitely want to come back here another time and like work at the library too. I think this would be like a good spot. Success. Support your local libraries, guys. I would like the record to show that it is almost 4 o'clock and I'm only now just getting home. I hate everything about that. Yes, I'm wearing a shirt. Don't do this to me right now. I am so exhausted. It's like not even funny. Okay, is it 1,000,000 degrees outside? Yes, it is actually. Am I putting on a sweater anyways? Yes, I am. And you know why? Because I at all times have to feel cozy. Also, I'm wearing white and I do not want to spill anything on my shirt. Because the day that I just, let me wash my hands. The day that I just had has been absolutely insane and like unnecessarily so. I have been anxious this entire day. Like, partly because this is the first time that I am alone in a new city. And normally I'm fine. But I think because my brain is like, you are in a new place that you're still familiarizing yourself with. So I'm anxious. And great. You guys are helping. Talking it out is helping. I'm starving. I ran to Wawa. I've been driving everywhere. I left the cafe, drove to the library. We had our moment. I have the book. Then I came back and I regrouped with my husband because he needed me to do something for him. I went to the grocery store, got what I needed, and then oh, this is unraveling. Got like some of the groceries I needed. I went in there knowing what I wanted to get for dinner tonight because I'm specifically craving the Cheesecake Factory vodka pasta, but with like a chicken cutlet on top of it. And I knew that if I did not get that in my body today, I was gonna have an issue. I knew I wanted to go get that from the grocery store, but then there were a few other things that I saw and I was like, oh, I should grab this just in case. I didn't go in with a clear plan. Okay, that was my first mistake. My second mistake was going to Aldi. I love shopping at Aldi. I get a little bit overwhelmed at Aldi because I feel like it feels like it's war in there. Like it's like every man for themselves in freaking Aldi, okay? And it's always like that out here. And I don't know if this is just a thing because they have such like a small supply of stuff or what the heck it is, but why am I literally fighting for my life? Like I would love to shop in peace. I would love for them to play jazz music, and I literally had to play that just to calm myself down because people are crazy. They're crazy. So I'm in the grocery store and people are waiting in line for me, getting upset because I'm checking out in peace and quiet at the self-checkout. Like, ma'am, Cheryl, I need you to chill. Aside from the fact that Aldi is a little bit chaotic, I went there because I was like trying to save money when really I would have had a much less hectic and drawn out adventure this afternoon if I had just gone to Publix. If I had just gone to Publix and paid like a little bit more, I could have gotten everything I needed from that one store. And then I could have been having lunch at a reasonable time instead of 4 p.m. I'm just overwhelmed. I've been fighting for my life out here. Like when my husband comes back, I'm sorry, but I'm telling him, you can't leave me here by myself ever again. Like, okay, I'm gonna eat my lunch and watch a video and just chill. Like, I do not plan on leaving this apartment until Sunday. It is Friday right now. I just can't go anywhere. Things are, for some reason, this weekend of all weekends is just horrifying. I'm gonna eat and then put my groceries away and then we'll chop it up soon, okay? Normally, I try to film these videos with my back camera, but today we're just gonna do a front camera. Oh, also, I forgot I'm making coffee right now. Hold on. I know I said that I was feeling a little bit anxious, and that is true. Am I having coffee still? It's also true. It's also true. Really though, I know myself and I know that this actually, shockingly, is perhaps going to help calm me down. This mixed with my water. I don't know how to explain it. I really think that what's happening right now is that I need a moment. That's what we're gonna do. We're going to take a second, couple hours, hopefully, to just relax. But I'm also going to write and work on my book because, believe it or not, this actually helps, okay? I know for some people writing books can actually add to their anxiety, and I know I've had those moments, I really have, especially in the times when I'm working on The Winds of Destiny, because again, like, it's a book that I've been with for so long. I do feel like I get the anxiety, and if like my head's not in the right place when it comes to my writing, it will make things worse. But I think right now this is just gonna help me focus on something instead of just like running around. Also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Kate Kavanaugh is streaming right now. Let's check, shall we? Oh, is she ever? This is perfect for me. I'm going to work on my book. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna drink my coffee. I'm gonna hang out. Then I'll get on with my life.
Because I still need, what did I say? I still need one.
had to step away partway through the stream. So I don't actually know what happened, like if the stream ended, because I came back and a different YouTube video was playing. So that was interesting. I did manage to get some words in. Now, these are drafting words. Again, we're trying to find where the lines are. How much does Charlotte need to know before she goes into the book? How much does she need to have intricately planned out before she can write a first draft? And how much can she discover as she's writing? Thankfully, my zero draft has really helped with this because it has helped me hash out pretty much all my ideas. And I've done a lot more brainstorming since then. I have a pretty clear outline. Again, I feel like it's just not set in stone. Like, I feel like it's still in the decision era. I think my subplots are there. I just need a better way of mapping them out. But I do feel like that comes kind of naturally to me as I'm writing, to be honest. But I can always do a better job, and I definitely want to track that, even if I'm discovery writing it. I decided to try my hand at drafting things just to see how things go. And I did in that session, I think I got like, hold on, let's see. I got like 97 words in the opening image section. I really like the way that I'm writing it. I think it's closer to the voice that I'm hoping to have come across the page. I still think it might give away too much. Really, it was the first scene in the setup, that like chapter 1 that I was working on, and I got about 481 words in that session. And honestly, it was really hard to write because I'm still learning something that my character is really good at. And it's hard writing a character that is supposed to be very skilled at something that you don't know much about. But I have been learning, and I'm going to continue to learn to kind of refine some of those pieces. Again, like, this is a competition book, but the actual story isn't about the competition. And I feel like I've always enjoyed movies like that. Like, I felt that when I watched Marty Supreme, where it's like I literally went to see someone just be a pro at ping pong, and instead I got crime. Same with, I feel like a little bit, what was that show, the chess show on Netflix? Was it The Queen's Gambit with Anya Taylor-Joy or whatever? I felt similarly about that one. I know there was a lot more chess in that because we had a lot more screen time as a TV show, but I do feel like there was more kind of cushioned around the competition. And again, like, I do think that's the point of competition books. I think that there's a greater narrative there. So even if I don't know enough about this one thing, I feel like I know what I can know to write this character and to write things in his perspective. And I can kind of go back in another draft and really refine that thought process and that voice. It does make it challenging. That's the stuff that I'm gonna have to go back on, but I can scaffold, like I can write some of the bones of the other stuff that's going on around the game side of things, and then go back and kind of have a more informed way of writing that stuff. As I'm writing this, I am coming up with some new ideas for the structure of the story. I feel like there's opportunity for me to start it in a different place. And as I'm writing these scenes, I'm starting to really think about how that would change the structure of the story and come up with ways to kind of put some of this stuff like scattered throughout the beginning of the book while my character is like entering the competition. Because I feel like as it stands right now, it is possibly going to be dragging a little bit too much. Not too much. I know that these scenes are going to be choppy, but I feel like it would be more fun if it started at a different place. But I'm not ready to make that decision yet. I'm kind of trying to see how this stuff plays out and how I feel about it. Like, again, I feel like with outlining, it's not just brainstorming. I think you do actually have to put words into something, kind of see how things are going, and then backtrack that way. I don't know, man. It's been so long since I've written a first draft, so I'm really trying to relearn my process. And unfortunately, every book I write is different, even within the same series. We're experimenting and we're trying to use the tools and knowledge that we have. The good news is that I'm very excited. Like, I have enough motivation to write this book, which is something I was afraid of because I felt a little bit disconnected from it, but I'm feeling connected to the story. I hope to go into a little bit more detail about my process, specifically with this book. But right now, I need to get started on my chores because it is 6:30 p.m. And because I had lunch at like 4. I'm not in a rush to have dinner, but I also don't want to have dinner at 10 p.m. I'm also trying to stay up late because my sister-in-law is not going to get here until 1 or 2 a.m. And I notoriously go to bed early. She had to check with me. She was like, are you going to be awake? Like, is this okay? I was like, yes, it's fine. I'll find ways to stay up. Trust me. When I need to do it, I'll do it. Guess I'll be writing or reading or playing The Sims. I don't know, but right now I need to clean and I've been procrastinating on it. I'm probably going to finish watching the Carrie Reed's video. I finished the Metal Slinger breakdown she had, and now I'm going on to the Light Bearer or Light Bringer book. I don't know anything about these books. I just think she's hilarious. Her and I have the exact same sense of humor, and those videos crack me up. And she also, like, they're 2 to 3 hours long, which is insane, but it's perfect for the tasks I'm about to achieve. So I'm gonna finish watching that, and then I'll probably listen to an audiobook or do something else. I don't know. Maybe music. Maybe my Project Casino writing playlist, because you already know it's gas, okay? You already know I put more effort into that than anything else to do with this book. Okay. Oh my word. Guys, can we just look at this, please? Oh my gosh. This is everything I wanted and more. Remember when I said I didn't want to be eating at 10 p.m.? It is 9:30. This looks incredible. Worth every second. I promise you. Haven't even tasted it yet, and I already know. It's not Cheesecake Factory. Don't get it twisted. But this is really good. This right here, guys. I love it. Movie of choice is Wicked. I was trying to find like a mystery whodunit, but Peacock was failing me right now, so we're watching Wicked.
2 days later.
I do look insane right now, but this is gonna help keep my scalp from burning because I'm going to the pool, okay? We worked out, had some breakfast, did some reading. Now I just wanna go suntan in the pool. It is Sunday, by the way. My sister-in-law was here, and so I didn't do much of vlogging because I was spending time with her and her boyfriend, so we were just enjoying our lives. But now I'm back to vlogging. Husband gets home later today, but I still have this whole day to myself, and I'm very excited. I don't know if I shared this on here in this vlog yet, but also one of the reasons why I kind of disappeared from vlogging and just kind of chose not to push myself to edit the vlog footage that I had is also because I've been having a lot of pain flare-ups. I've never been diagnosed with like a chronic pain like illness or anything, but for like basically since I was like 18 or 19, like when I was in college, I started having a lot of like really bad like neck pain, shoulder pain, all of that stuff. And now that I'm turning 29 this year, it's worse. Okay, it's much worse. So I have to take breaks from my laptop when that happens, and it sucks, but that's the only way that I feel good is if I choose to kind of just step away from hunching over a screen all day. All this to say really is that it's Sunday, and so I'm trying to rest and not just push myself to my max. I actually was just watching Linda Sun's new video. She's kind of like a lifestyle, inspirational, like health and wellness-ish YouTuber on here. She brought up a really good point about how like in our culture right now, it's like a race of who can like break themselves down the most in order to achieve things. And I had to pause the video and really consider myself for a second because I feel like I personally fall into this trap a lot of thinking that. It kind of compounded on some of the thoughts I was having this morning of why I chose to just stay home today, chose to work out first thing in the morning, is because as much as I want to be a published author and as much as this is like the dream and this is the goal, I have to take care of myself, because as much as that is the goal and something that I want to do with my life now, not just when I'm older, writing and creating is something that gives me life. It's something that fulfills me. It's something that helps me regulate my emotions and helps me manage my mental health. And above being published, that's what writing has always been for me. And so I have to make sure that I am physically capable of still sitting down on a laptop or a notebook without feeling like I'm dying. I want to be 80 years old and still be writing. And so I need to chill out a little bit. This has been something on my mind, even just as I've been filming this vlog. I feel a little bit convicted, if that's the right word to use, about just being on social media in the capacity that I'm at this stage of my writing career. I know that a lot of people are like, oh, you should like be posting on social media before your book even comes out. Like there are people who have gotten book deals from posting about their book on social media. Like there is a value in doing that, but that can't go above the other things. And I think sometimes I get caught up in the chase of posting content and being in my content creator bag because I do enjoy doing that. But I was having a conversation with my friend Maddie on FaceTime the other day, and I was telling her about this and about how like I feel like sometimes I take posting content too seriously for the stage that I'm at. And like when you think about my overarching goals, like why am I scheduling myself to like be posting specific reels every single day? Why am I scheduling myself to like post a carousel every week? Like I started creating videos on YouTube and like posting things on social media, yes, because I'm like at some point I'm going to have to do this once I publish a book. And I did see the value in trying to build an audience before that, but like it is so not that serious right now. Like I just have to remember what my priorities are and what my goals are. And so let's normalize disappearing from social media to write our books. Like let's normalize not fighting to be on social media and just disappear into our writing cave. Live your life, enjoy your life, write your books, create beautiful things, read amazing books, watch fantastic films and television shows, enjoy your relationships. Like I've wasted so much time worrying about posting content for someone who like it's not that serious right now. Okay, so that's my rant. I'm gonna go down to the pool now and read my book, and I'm gonna swim because I just worked out and so I feel disgusting and I need to just cleanse. So yeah, that's that. I have showered and dressed. I'm about to take a few minutes now and write before I have to go pick up the husband from the airport. Right now I have to clean up my desk a little bit. 1 second. Before I get into the weeds of the project and writing, I am going to continue reading Lord of Shadows. I'm going to finish the chapter that I was on, I believe. Let's see actually how long it is. Okay, I'm going to try to finish the chapter, but I really want to get to writing. I got a lot of ideas when I was in the pool for some scenes that I'm very excited about. So I want to get those out and then I'll probably read, and then I don't know if I'm going to continue drafting. I really haven't decided yet what I want to do because I now have this idea that the book could start in a different place, and I'm not sure if I want to kind of play around with that to see if it works or not, or if I want to just write out the story as I have it outlined right now and then make that change later. I'm still trying to feel it out because I do believe that if I start the story in this other spot, it might change the story a lot, but it also might be a way more exciting beginning. So maybe I'll play around with that today and try to write a different kind of scene. I might need to do some research, maybe reading a bit of one of the comp titles for the book, which is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, just to kind of get a feel for the voice that I want to come across the page. I am trying to keep this story very true to my strengths as a writer and to my voice as a writer and like the style of storytelling that I really lean into, but at the same time I'm trying new things, and I really like the voice of The Night Circus. I love the whimsy of it, and that's kind of how I feel when I think of this book. So I might need to just do a little bit of vocal training when it comes to the actual prose for the story, and also to get some ideas on how I want to start the book. To be determined. I decided to try to like fix the outline, like write up an alternate outline that will play around with like potentially changing the structure of the story to start at a different point. And I think it might be working, but I'm still not entirely sure. Either way, I just wrote out a scene. Like I write my outline in bullet points, but really like bullet points per scene. And so this is like, this one bullet point is like 471 words. And it's kind of like helped me flesh out the setting looks like the layout looks like, flesh out some of the dynamics of the setting a lot, because the setting is kind of its own character in the story, and also just kind of map out a scene and come up with some more ideas. In this kind of alternate outline, I wrote about 723 words. So not bad for a 25-minute work session. So that's what I've done. It is now time for me to probably like dry my hair really quickly and then head to the airport.